Hi, all. This is Matt Lute, founder and senior attorney with Atticus Family Law. I want to talk about parenting time for a moment here in the course of this pandemic. Right now, it's April 1st. We've got another 10 days of the stay at home or shelter at home directive. And and that's assuming it doesn't get continued further. But more importantly, where we are in the Twin Cities, some of us are in western Wisconsin, and some of our clients are in northeastern Minnesota. Minnesota hasn't peaked yet, and frankly, if we want to talk about the curve where the U.S. is and where various states are, we're still on an upward trajectory, and which means that there's still, unfortunately, a lot of more people that are going to get sick with the coronavirus, and more people are going to be hospitalized, and greater number of people that are going to have some serious medical ailments, if not succumb to this pandemic. That's only going to make people more worrisome, more concerned, and it's going to make those of you that have difficult relationships with the other parent and poor communication styles. It's going to tax your relationships even more as it relates to exchanging your children, being clear on what can be done and what can't be done with them, and just being worried about whether, even if they can't contract it, whether they're serving as vectors that can pass it on, and just trying to insulate your homes, let alone dealing with fallout when you find out that there have been neighbors or friends of the family or extension of family, brothers-in-laws and cousins and others that get sick. It's going to be scary. It's going to be scary for the children, and it's going to be scary for all of us. And that's going to make parenting time more difficult. So I'm encouraging you to use the guidelines that we have below in the notes that we've circulated before. We're circulating again. Read those again, and perhaps do what you can to start practicing some wise guidelines around that. Kind of having some clear expectations, talking about adhering to a schedule and not deviating from it, or having more constructive conversations around measures of social distancing and so on. Just try to be proactive so that in the handful of weeks to come, as Minnesota's peaking and western Wisconsin's peaking, that you've already laid some groundwork that helps you out there. The other bit I want to share with you applies to not only you as a client, but any of our former clients, community members. This is where the brother-in-laws, the neighbors, the coworkers come into play. Atticus Family Law is going to be helping people, whether existing client or not, handle these parenting time exchanges and these disputes. If there's a chance that we can make a phone call, send an email, shoot off a letter, and see if we can't de-escalate and kind of solve some of these issues. But we're going to be, as it relates to these parenting time exchange issues that deal with the pandemic and complications from it, we're not going to do so at cost or with any charge. It's going to be without cost. That not only applies to these sort of housekeeping issues we have for our existing clients, as we're still trying to help them with their bigger issues, their permanent legal stuff, but just in regards to working the day-to-day troubleshooting on that, but also for, even if maybe you're a referral from an existing client and you need some help, or you're the neighbor of a former client, or it doesn't matter, anybody. We want to make sure that the children don't suffer in times like this, and we know some certain ways, and not like, that sometimes you gauge a situation, you realize this needs a really sternly worded letter. Other times you gauge it and you realize you're going to get more bees with honey than vinegar, and so let's use a soft approach. Let us put our experience to use, and wanting to make sure that your children who need both of you, both parents, especially when they're afraid, and we start finding that there are people we know that are sick, have the opportunity to have the comfort of both parents, because parenting time is moving forward as the court expects you to, and you expect for yourselves. So feel free to pass on our contact information. Let's just make sure we get through this together, and that our children suffer as little as possible for it. Again, my name is Matt Lute. I'm the founder and senior attorney with Atticus Family Law, and we strive to help people protect themselves, their families, and their futures. Thank you.